It's that time again for 5 minutes of free advice brought to you by 7 Generation Games, games that make you smarter. Today's topic is we all know you're lying. People who are liars and criminals, they think they're smarter than everybody else because they have this kind of arrogance that says they can get away with it. The fact of the matter is, we all know you're lying. And this may hurt your little pompous, conceited bubble, but the truth is, we let you get away with it for one of three reasons. One, you're really not that important to us. It's not worth bothering about. Two, we think that that information about you being a liar may come in useful somewhere down the line. Or three, we're just waiting and biding our time. Just so you know, one of the things they say about older women is true, that when an older woman is quiet, you should be nervous because she's plotting to kill you. Let me tell you a story. About many years ago, I was at a party with my late husband, and he had applied for a job in Australia. Now, this is before there was email or a lot of those kinds of media to communicate across continents. So basically, you had to know somebody who knew somebody in Australia. We were at this party. Someone, let's call him Bob, comes up to Ron and says, "Oh, yeah, I was just in Australia. That's part of my territory. I cover for the company in sales. And I told the company he was supposed to go work for, what a great person you are and that you know this industry more than anybody. And I heard you got offered the job there." And Ron said, "Yes, I did." And he said, "Well, I put in all those good words for you." And Ron said, "Well, I appreciate that." So about a half hour later at the same party, it's like a big Christmas party, we're sitting with another couple, and the man happens to be Bob's boss. And he says to Ron, "Ah, yeah, I heard Bob's trip to Australia got canceled." And you know how couples who've been together for a while have that sort of little signal, shut the fuck up, right? My friends Lanny and Laura Clark, whenever Laura says to Lanny, "Lance, dear," we know that that's the signal that he's supposed to just stop talking. Well, Laura is a little bit more settled than my husband Ron, who kicked me under the table. In other words, don't say anything. So we get outside after this party, and the minute we get in the car, I'm like, "You knew all along while we're standing there, it's like I was talking to you and you didn't say anything?" And he said, "Yes." And he could tell I was not very pleased about that because I was much younger then and thought it was my purpose in life to right everybody in the world who was wrong. God can only imagine what it would have been like if the internet was around then. And Ron says to me, it did not hurt me for him to say that. He wasn't saying anything negative about me. It made him feel better because he was making himself feel like a big shot. Now, I knew that he hadn't been to Australia. I knew what he said wasn't true. But if I had brought it up there, it would have been very awkward for him. It would have been very awkward and embarrassing for the people standing around who wouldn't know what to say. I'm at my friend's party. So there was really no point to pointing out that he was lying. And there was some significant downsides to it. But he said to me, "It also tells me something about that guy. And I know that in the future, anything that he says, I can't be too sure that it's true. So that's useful information to know if you're doing business with somebody about what kind of person they are." So, number one, maybe you're not getting away with it because the person's just filing that information away for future reference and you've just shot yourself in the foot. Another reason maybe you're getting away with it, but not really. I've heard a lot of people lately, just on various topics, say the most outrageous lies to make themselves look like big shots. Things that I know are not true. And maybe other people believe it's true, but really, it's not worth my time to disabuse anybody of it. You go around and you feel like a big shot, and the idiot friends you have or the idiot hangers on you have think that you're important and what you said is true. What's it to me? So it's like a dear friend of mine once said, "So some idiot impresses his idiot friends." Yep, you're not important. You're not fooling us. We just don't care. And then there's the third type that you liars ought to really be worried about. You ever hear the saying, don't make a federal case out of it? I have spent a lot of my career doing evaluations, expert witness testimony, things like that, where I'm called upon to provide evidence. And funny thing, you'll see people getting away with something and you think, oh my God, why isn't anybody doing something about this? This is terrible. These people are liars and cheaters and stealers and bad, and somebody should do something about it. And generally, far longer than you think it should take. You'll drive by that office one day, for example, and see the FBI carrying out files, or you'll hear that Billy Bob got arrested. Especially in the case of the federal government, they seem to have this idea they have infinite time. You're not going anywhere, and they're just collecting evidence, giving you enough rope to hang yourself, so to speak. So, yeah, you're not getting away with it. Maybe you ought to start being a little more honest. Check out www.sevengenerationgames.com. We make you smarter. Download a game for yourself, give it to a child you like, or donate it to a school. Thanks.